Hello, everyone. This is a great case today about homeowners associations and real estate developers of big subdivisions and who has to pay and when they have to pay for assessments. And this case comes down out of Johnson County, went up to the Court of Appeals, and it's really significant because what happened was a developer had written covenants for the development, and there was a study done that showed that the HOA was not going to have enough money in reserves, so they added on another assessment to make up the reserves that would be needed in the future for common area maintenance and fencing and all the different things that HOAs have to pay for. However, the developer tried to pull a fast one, and what they did was they wrote an amendment, a second amendment to the HOA covenants, and said, we are going to define ourselves as not being somebody who has to pay any assessments. And they called it a Scrivener's error, which is basically like a typo, right? So if you have a typo and you need to correct it, that's a Scrivener's error. But they did a wholesale redefinition of who owes money to the HOA, and they said, we're not supposed to be paying anything. It's only the people who actually buy our homes from us. They're the ones who have to pay. We don't have to pay. And oh, by the way, they did it without a board meeting and a meeting of the HOA association members. They didn't have a vote on it. They just amended it on their own and recorded it, bam, and said, we don't have to pay. We're going to define ourselves out of it. Not so fast. That's what the Court of Appeal says. Not so fast, developer. You can't get out of paying things just by writing an amendment and defining yourselves out of the situation. The amount in controversy here is $394,000 of unpaid assessments from the year 2000 to 2009. So almost 400 grand in unpaid assessments, late fees, etc., that they tried to just define themselves out of. Beautiful. The Court of Appeal says, no way, you can't do that. They sent it back to the trial court. And I'm going to tell you, this is in the record, but they didn't really say much about it. But this is one of those things where we peek at what the court is looking at. And the court made special mention of the fact that while the developer was part of the HOA and was on the board, it took like $35,000 of disbursements out of the reserve fund. They couldn't really account for who did it, when, why, what the money was used for, but over a period of 3 different occasions, they took out 35 grand on their own. And I think that made them not look so good to the Court of Appeals. So here they are on the one hand, skimming out of the reserve fund that's supposed to be paid for by them, and then they try to define themselves out of the whole obligation to pay. I would like to do that myself and just say, that I'm not included in those that are required to pay. Just a Scrivener error. I'm not liable. No, that doesn't work. Everybody knows that. Court of Appeals got it right. And you can read this. I give you the citation on the screen there. So enjoy the whole case if you want. It's 25 pages. That's it for today on that one. Look for that to go up on appeal again. Since it's 400 grand, they're going to appeal it again, I bet. So we'll see. Have a great day. Thank you very much.